Hello and welcome back to my channel. So this is another Cube Man Max video, as you can tell, and if you saw my last video, it was about me solving this exact Rubik's Cube in under a minute. Now, today's sort of challenge for you guys is to actually learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Now, it's not as hard as you think, but for solving it, you need to know quite a few things which actually goes into solving a Rubik's Cube. And I will show you how to do it right now. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the first step is to get the white cross. But before we do that, I want to go over notations. So, on the Rubik's Cube, there is 3 main notations. There is the upside, there is the left side, and there is the right side. Let's start off with the left side. So the left side has this, which is called L prime. Now, whenever you hear prime, that means turn the side, so like if I say L prime, it's turn the left side because of the L, and then anti-clockwise because of the prime. Or when you're writing it down, you'll see it as an apostrophe, so just one apostrophe. And then of course we have L, which is just turn it clockwise, and then you have L2, which is turn the side 2 times. Same goes for right, but just be careful when you're doing it, you don't get these two mixed up and say this is right, this is left, this is right, this is left. So right prime, or right and the right side anti-clockwise, is just this. And R is self-explanatory, pretty much same thing, just reversed. And R2. And then the final main one that we will be using a lot is U, which is the top side or upside. Of course, prime, which is anti-clockwise, the top side anti-clockwise, and U, or the top side clockwise. And of course, U2, which is pretty much the same as L2 and R2. There are a few other notations that you need to know. The other notations you need to... There's 4 more notations you need to know. They are the downside. So this layer here would be classified as D. This is D. And this is D prime. And of course, what D2. And you got F, which is the front side. So this would be just simply F. This would be F prime. And of course, F2. And then we got the back side, the second to last notation that you need to know during this how to solve the Rubik's Cube tutorial is the back side. The backside is not really used that much, but just in case you know it, we have, the way that I think of it is you just turn around the cube, and then you can have a look and do F, with instead of the other colour facing you, and then this, so this would now actually be just B, and this is B prime. Okay, there's one final one, and there's only 2 variations. There's only 2 things you need to know about it. Now there is another one, but that's not in this tutorial, and it's M, which is the middle layer. So you either have M2 or just M, which is just move the middle layer clockwise once. Okay, so now we know the notations of the Rubik's Cube. We need to know how to start off solving Rubik's Cube. First of all, of course, I have a solved cube at the minute, so we need to scramble this up. And as you can see here, it's now scrambled. Oh, nice. Okay, so we can start beginning. So the first thing you want to do is you want to try and get all the white edges, not onto the white side yet, but onto the yellow side. So let's start. Ooh, see, we have this white edge here, which is on the white side. But it would be better if we could have it on the yellow side, just for now. This is just the purpose for this tutorial. You can keep it there if you want to. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to bring it over to here. In case it matches up with the orange. And this white is with yellow. And we're going to make a form called the daisy pattern. So it's where you have the actual, it's like a flower. So the outside edges are white. And then, of course, the center is yellow. So let's search for a new edge, which will be quite easy to place in. We have this one here. Now in this scenario, all I would do with my orange side facing me and the yellow side facing up, all I'm going to do to get, of course, where is it? Get this into here. And all I'm going to do is and just simply, you can turn it around if you want to. I just do it like this. And all you want to do is bring the back side prime. And as you can see now, we have these two white edges connect up with this yellow piece. And, oh, look, these two are out of place. So what we do to just put them back in its position is, with the yellow side facing, of course, down, all we need to do here is do a D prime, and then we have the green, and orange on orange. And we now only have two edges left. Ooh, we have the same thing here. This time let's have the yellow side facing us. It's just because I'm showing you different ways of how to tackle this. So here, this is mainly the one I would use when I was starting out. All you would have to do is U prime, then R prime, and then it's in its place without moving all the rest. And here we have this white edge here, which needs to go into here. What we can do is, just to make it a bit easier, we can do a U prime to bring it over here. Then what we can do is F prime. Then we can do L. And then we can do F. And now we have, let's just say these corners weren't there. And then you got daisy pattern with the red and red, blue and blue, orange and orange, green and green. Now all you need to do here is just bring these white edges down to the white side. How you do that is just do an F2 on each of the sides. And then if you look on the white side, you should have a cross or maybe one corner or two corners, or possibly even a chance of three corners, or even a solved white side. But it's most likely not actually properly done yet. So now let's move on to step 2. Okay, so the next step of the Rubik's Cube is the white corners, as you could have saw. So we already have one white corner placed in, and what we want to do is actually get that out, because the stickers don't match up with the centers. But we can actually do something which improves the solve a bit quicker, and we have the actual correct corner piece which needs to go in here. So we might as well just insert this by doing U prime while following the edge, R prime, and then we just do a U. And then now this corner is inserted in, it's matched up with its centers, this corner is done. Now you just got 3 more to go. If you have one, which is here, this is the correct one, but all that needs to happen is it to be twist. All you want to do is do the same thing again, following the edge, U prime, R prime, this time leave the edge, and then do again, U, do an R this time, go back to the white side, following the edge once more, you need to do U prime, R prime, and then finish off with a U. And then you got that corner inserted in. So now we've got 2 corners done. Halfway through the step, got 2 more to go. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, this is a good lead up to another scenario you can get. This is where, instead of having a corner like this, where you can just easily insert it in, the white sticker is actually facing on the up on the yellow side. So, if you have this scenario, you want to follow the edge again. This time do a U, L2, U prime, leave the edge, do an L prime, go back to the white side, do a U, do an L, and then finish off with a U prime. And then that corner is inserted in, and we're just left with one more here, and it's like all the rest. Follow the edge, U, L, U prime. And then you got the white side completely done. And now we need to move on to step 3. Okay, so after white corners comes F2L, which stands for first layers. Now, there's a pretty much more advanced way of doing this, but for the people who are beginning out, or the people watching this video, I'm going to call these F2L edges. So what you want to do is try and find an F2L edge, which we happily have one here. And you want to line it in case it forms a line, which is all the same colour. So it doesn't form a line there, not there, not there, but it does form a line here. And then you have to look which direction it needs to go. It looks like it needs to go to the right. So this is the first algorithm of 2. All you need to do is U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, followed by an F prime, then a U, then an F. And then you got that edge happily sitting in there. And we have another edge, which is just chilling here. That needs to go into the right slot here as well. So just do the algorithm again. So it's U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, then followed by F prime, then U, then F. And then you got these 2 edges together, and now it's got 2 more to go. This actually works out perfectly because this is the second algorithm. Instead of going to the right, it needs to go to the left. So all we need to do here is just reverse of what we just did with L's instead of R's. And, of course, opposite. So, this time we need to do U prime, then L prime, then U, then L, then U, then F, then U prime, then F prime. Let's insert that in. And we just got one more, and it needs to go to the right. So, algorithm number 1 again. So we need to do just the exact same thing that we did with the first edge and the second edge. What we need to do is U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And now you have the first 2 layers all completely solved. And now we just got 2 more steps of learning how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Okay, so after F2L comes OL or Orient last layer. Now you could either have a different symbol apart from like a little L, which I'll call a hook, a bar, or just a dot. If you have one of those other symbols, then you just want to wait until I'm done with this, and you want to keep noticed still when I'm doing this, because most of the time you'll get one of these anyway. So these 3 symbols all require the same algorithm. But there's certain things you have to do with them. So if you get hook, you always want the hook facing into the top left hand corner, or you want the L in the top left hand corner. Whatever you want, say, just have it in the top left hand corner and do this algorithm. You want to do F, R, U, then R prime, U prime, F prime. And as you see, we didn't break anything. All the first 2 layers are still the same, but now we have this. This is called a bar, and you might already have this. And if you have dot, you just want to do that, the algorithm I just told you, not 1 time, not 2 times, but 3 times, because once you do it first time it gets the hook, second time it gets the bar, and the third time you get a different kind of symbol. So we have bar. All we want to do is same algorithm again. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Now here we have this sort of pattern. But if you can have any other pattern. I'll just explain what to do with them once I finish this. But they all require the same algorithm, and this is the algorithm to pretty much do it. Also, if you have like Siamese cubes, so like it's a 2x2 here and also a 2x2 here, what you want to do is you can have it in any position you want, and you'll most likely get to here, or you might get to a different symbol, depends. This is the algorithm we're going to do, and that is R, U, R prime, U, R, U, 2, R prime. Now, at this moment, you either will have cross, fish, or you might have the symbol I just had. This is a fish, because as you can see, this is like the head, and then this is the tail leading out, and it's swimming down this way. You want it to stay like that, and you want to have a look at this corner piece. If the yellow is facing you, then all you want to do is do the same algorithm once. But if it's facing out here, you want to do the algorithm twice. But always have the fish swimming to the bottom left corner. Okay, so again, the algorithm is R. Dang it. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And then you have this yellow corner piece facing towards you, or you have the yellow side solved. If you have the yellow side solved, wait until I finish this, and just want to do the algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And now you're done OLL, because I can see you got the yellow side solved, and you still have the first 2 layers. And now we're on the final step, which you're about to see here. Okay, so after OLL comes step 5, or PLL, which is permute last layer. So what we're going to do is move the last layer pieces without messing up the yellow side or any of the first 2 layers. So in this situation, you either have headlights, 3 like a line of the same colour or a bar of the same colour, or you'll have no headlights, no bars at all. You'll have something like this, or this, or this. Don't worry, I'll get to that in a second. But if you have headlights or a bar, you want to line it up with the exact colour the headlights or the bar is in. So, as see, the orange headlights that I have are coloured in, like I just said, orange. So, you bring it to the orange side. And you always want the side with your bar or headlights at the back. But if you don't have them, doesn't matter which side you do it on, just do the algorithm twice. But after the first time you do it, you'll get headlights or a bar. And then just do it again with them facing at the back. You just want to do this algorithm, and that algorithm is R prime, F, R prime, B2, R, F prime, R prime, B2, R2. And if you didn't have headlights at first, you'll now have headlights. All you want to do is do that algorithm once more, and then you'll end up with something which looks like this. You might want to line it up with, like, in case the headlights are all on their colours. So this is the final step of PLL, and there's 4 cases and 4 algorithms to solve them. As you can see, we have this green piece here which needs to go over here, and this red piece which needs to go here. But this orange piece has to go cross over here because the blue side is already solved. So, if it needs to go in a clockwise rotation, you want to do this algorithm. R2, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime. And then if you had that, your cube is now solved. You pretty much solved the Rubik's Cube, but you want to stay in for the rest of the 3 algorithms. And I'm going to just get up the second one now. Okay, so here's the second one. We have the green side solved, or you have any side solved, but instead this time you have this red piece that needs to go over here instead, and instead it needs to go in an anti-clockwise rotation. So how you do this is quite simple. It's just reverse of the previous algorithm. So the algorithm is R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. And then you've solved the Rubik's Cube. You had that one, but there's still 2 more to go. And these are the 2 more that we have. Let me just get into one of them. When I said about notations, this is the algorithm where you have to use the M notation. And there's also another one after this which also uses the M notation. But in this one we have no side solved. We will have headlights on each side. But these edges need to be swapped over. And they're opposite each other. So not next to each other like this, but they're opposite. If you have opposite edges, all you want to do is this algorithm, which is M2, U2, M2, U, M2, U2, M2, U prime. And then you've solved the Rubik's Cube. There's one more, which is this. Okay, so we have the 4 headlights as usual, and instead of being opposite, they're next to each other. So what you want to do is find a pair, have one of the edges facing you and one of the edges facing to the left, and you want to do this algorithm, which is M2, U, M2, U, M, U2, M2, U2, M, U2. And there you go. Your Rubik's Cube is solved. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I just like to say massive shout out to Hasbro Gaming thank you for shouting out me in your video. It's really appreciative. So if you're a subscriber of me and not subscribed to him, go subscribe. He does amazing gaming videos. And hope you solved the Rubik's Cube. Please like and subscribe if this did help you. And see you next time. Bye.